Hey, everybody, and welcome to my latest podcast. Or actually, it's not a podcast, it's a livecast of The Walking Dead. Um, so, this was Denai Guerrera's last episode. Michonne's characters is off to much greener pastures, as we saw. And It was interesting because we knew this was coming, but they didn't really announce that this was the episode. And it's odd because this season actually has uh, quite a number of episodes left to it. And so she is now gone for The Walking Dead season 10. Um, so this episode was interesting. I have a lot of issues with it. I know that's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but I did in fact have some issues with this last episode for Michonne. And the first of it is that had been so long since we had seen Michonne in this season um, that I kind of forgot what happened to her. I know she went off on the boat, and that was about it. And it was it was a little interesting to finally come back to her after everything else that has gone on. And I felt that the it was a mind trip episode, with the whole drugs thing. I kind of really dug Mirror Universe Michonne, though. I have to say, I really, really like that. Um, Her and Negan, man, that would have been a great team. So I fully expect there to be alternate universe Michonne stories with her and Negan hooking up. I'm sure. So first off, this episode started with it started with her and Andrea. Now, one of the biggest problems I had with this entire episode was the fact that they didn't bring back these original actors. That wasn't what happened there. So don't get excited that they brought everybody back for this as a special treat. It wasn't. Um, and you probably realized that pretty quickly. Um, you know, Laurie Holden did not come back for this. I thought, oh man, are they going to do that? No, they did not. It was using footage that they'd already filmed, and they used the special effects trick of superimposing Denai Guerrera into these scenes and kind of editing trickery and things, and utilizing the actors that were around, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Um, so I kind of thought it brought back the fact that this series has messed over a lot of fantastic actors, not the least of which is Chandler Riggs, who played Carl, who sort of was like completely forgotten in this episode, except for that one flash of him. You would think that with Michonne being there for him growing up for quite a bit of his life, you would have, if they hadn't screwed him over, that he would have factored a lot more into this episode, but he did not because they screwed him over. The same with Laurie Holden. I don't know if you guys were aware, but they did film an alternate take of Andrea where she lived, but they decided to let her go because she was one of the last of the original showrunners people that was still around and had worked with him a lot. The original, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's in a lot of, he's basically going toe to toe with AMC right now on this show. And sorry, I'm looking him up because I can't believe I forgot Frank Darabont. Oh my God! So Frank Darabont has a cadre of actors that he really likes to work with, and Laurie Holden was one of them. Melissa McBride is another, and she's like the very last of the Darabont crew. Other than Norman Reedus, of course, who actually is that character is owned by AMC, so you can expect Daryl to not die ever because he's their property. But anyway, in this episode, we see the flashback to Andrea, which was surprising. I didn't expect to see that. But then you find out that this is part of that mind trip thing where she lets her die. And it's horrible because there's face eating, body eating Andrea, and she picks her clean. Um, and that's how her life would have been different if she had let Andrea just die. So that's an interesting take, and I like that. But as I said, it just reinforced to me how many actors this show is just kind of screwed over and also killed off. So it for no reason. And Chandler Riggs, especially in this episode, was a reminder to me of how they did him wrong. So the episode progresses and Michonne goes and sees how dark her life would have become, which wasn't really that dark because she was with the saviors and was a badass. And I'm kind of like, where's the loss there? Um, but anyway, of course she comes out of it and finds her way back. And it was okay. Um, they did a good job with the special effects and the editing, of course. But the thing that stuck out for me that was odd was the big reveal that Rick's alive. Well, we all knew that. Michonne didn't. This is just setting up for the Rick Grimes movies because she's going to be in those. Um, but there's a couple of things that really stood out that makes me go, this makes no sense. These are weird decisions by Michonne. And not just that, it's bad writing. First of all, the big one for me was, and I'm like, is this a slam against Chandler Riggs? Because everybody was making fun of his hair. The picture that you have on the phone case that was carved of Michonne and Judith, how did Rick know what Judith looked like? Because Rick blew up before Judith got, we did the time jump. So Judith didn't look like that. If anybody looked like that, it was kind of Carl, except he didn't have the eye patch. He had that hair and the hat. But Rick had never saw Judith look like that. So how did he carve that? The other part of that is too, if he did in fact see Judith on that phone, like see her like look like that, um, how did he not know about RJ? Poor RJ, the forgotten child. We see him a little bit in this one, but he's so non in the show that many people thought RJ was an imaginary thing that Michonne had created in her mind. But that's a big plot hole. Judith never looked like that to Rick. Was that something not Rick then? Was that who did that? Someone answer me. What the hell? What was that? Who saw her like that and carved that? Because it wasn't Rick. Rick was flying in the air, and then with Jadis, what happened? So the other thing that I kind of was like, this is a weird decision for Michonne to make, to drop everything after her whole motivation was to get back to Judith and RJ and her family, was you're going off a carving, an empty boat that just washed up, and some old boots that you shoved your face into, which was really weird because you know what he's walked through. But you don't have any idea or any proof here that Rick is alive at all. I mean, in fact, it's just the opposite. He wouldn't have left something that meant that much to him. Why the hell are his boots there? I'm trying to figure out why she would just drop everything and go look for Rick when you have your kids waiting for you. Kids definitely RJ doesn't know who Rick is, and Judith, who was too young to really remember him that much. They call him the brave man. So for her to drop everything and just go thinking that, even though Judith's like, oh, go find him, go find the brave man. How do you know he's not dead? I mean, we know he's not dead because there's going to be a trilogy of Rick Grimes movies. But Michonne does not have any freaking proof that he is alive. For her to drop everything with her attitude of it being all about these kids and her family, and that's who she's there for, yada yada yada. There is no reason for her to just do this. It's totally out of character. Weird. So I get that they had to do this to get her in the movies, but it makes no sense. It's totally out of character. Also, I just have to say, I await your erotic Rick Grimes boots fanfic because that's coming, and most likely there will be the inevitable parody Twitter account for Rick Grimes boots. So yeah, that's gonna happen. Um, so anyway, that's my take on this. It was an odd choice of an episode for her to go out on. I did dig the whole circle of life kind of thing they did with the ending where she saves people. She's got she did the whole zombie creating thing again, which was really great with her two pets. I like the visual of the wagon train at the end, but again, the episode felt really weird in terms of, you know, you couldn't bring back Chandler Riggs because he probably wouldn't have done it. Um, Lori Holden, I don't know that she would have came back. I don't know if it's bad blood really because I don't know anything personally about these people, but I get the indication, especially with things that I've heard Chandler Riggs say on social media and out there, that it was not a happy parting of the ways. There's a nod back to, for him in this show. And that's sad because out of all the characters, Carl and Michonne had the most connection because of their time together, and it felt hollow in that way, and even though as much as I loved Mirror Universe Michonne and all of that, it felt hollow. And I couldn't help but think about all this stuff as I'm watching this. I'm like, well, they're doing this big send off for this character, but she's not really going anywhere. She's going to movies. And there was no, I don't know if it was something they had to do because of her schedule, because part of the reason she's leaving is her work in like the Marvel universe and her career, and so the show takes a lot of time and energy out of actors. So that's why she's leaving, but it's still, like I said, it felt weird. It felt really odd. And so that was my take on it. It was a good episode. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was good, but it felt odd, and I just it just made that reminder to me of, wow, yeah, they wouldn't have been able to get either of these guys back to do this. And I kind of felt mean too that they ate Lori Holden's face. That just was like, man, poor Andrea. She got so screwed. So yeah, that was my take. What did you guys think? Comment, let me know. Here's a heads up from me right now of what's going on. I'm in Oregon, and I'm really bummed because this weekend I was supposed to be at Horror Hound Weekend, as were a lot of people. And I was going to go visit my mother, who I haven't seen in like a year. And that, of course, went because of everything that's happened. So now I'm pretty much homebound, which is a lot of people are. And I'm working on my day job that I do in the mornings, and then I come and write and do these videos for you guys. And I will be having this week on Tuesday a live stream that I hope you guys tune in for. What I'm trying to do is help out a lot of the artists and people that are being affected by this situation, which entails a lot of people that a lot of their income comes from conventions. and they conventions, Comic-Cons, that kind of a thing. Artists, creators, writers that just lost like an entire season's worth of income because of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these, hopefully it works, all the technical stuff works out, these live streams with multiple participants, including actors, and people that you'd normally find at these shows as celebrities that are going to help out to get some visibility here. And this Tuesday, fingers crossed, we're going to have Mr. Mark Meir from Mass Effect, Commander Shepard himself, the star of shows like Tiny Plastic Men, video game voice actor extraordinaire, improv master, and dungeon master. He will be on with us, and we're going to have a couple of really fantastic artists with us, and we're going to show you some of their work. We're going to talk to Mark, we're going to talk to the artists, and we're going to include links for you to click on. So if you see things that you think would be great that you want to purchase, you can do so. You can click on the links and go to their online stores and buy things from them. Just because we're housebound doesn't mean we don't want to shop, and it doesn't mean that we can't enjoy and bond over our fandoms. So I'm really excited about this. This is going to be the first in what I hope is a series of them. I'm going to do my best to help these people out and get some eyes on their stuff, help them get some money in this time, because everybody is hurting. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and a lot of us, fandom is social. We as fans love talking about the stuff we love to enjoy, and that's what I'm doing here. Even though I wasn't, super happy with the episode, I did enjoy it, and I love The Walking Dead. I mean, if you can't tell right there. I love this show. I've been a fan since the beginning of it. I haven't been happy with some of the choices they made, but I still love The Walking Dead, and some of my friends I got because of this show. And we as fans need to come together and be there for one another during crazy stuff like this. And we're social, even though we're mostly, I'm not as messed up by being stuck at home as a lot of people, because I'm sort of an extroverted introvert. But I like talking to fans. I like interacting with other people, and these are ways we can do this right now. And I hope to help these people out. I hope to help these artists out. And I'm lucky that I have really good friends that will be a part of this with me, that have a lot more clout than I do in this world, and they'll be able to help them out too. So I hope you guys tune in. I will be posting links on all my social media for this, and I'll hashtag it, and you'll see it on there as well. So join us Tuesday. It should be starting at around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday, and I'll have more stuff online. You can find on fangirlmag.com. You'll have at fangirlmag, at Jessica Dwyer, because I'm not very imaginative when it comes to my Twitter handle. So please feel free to jump in on that and join us, because it's going to be fun. And it also will be up on our I'll have the audio on our podcast as well. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I did like it, but it felt hollow, and I can't help but think, that's what it reminded me of, was how many actors we've lost in this show, and not in a good way, not in a heroic way. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, check us out this week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to do a live stream. I kind of named it #CoronaCon, which is probably not the best way to go with it, but I have a dark sense of humor. Anyway, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next week for another Walking Dead video. And again, check us out on Tuesday when we're going to be live streaming, and be sure to keep positive, spread the word, not the virus. Talk to you guys later. Bye.